Welcome to the Friday at 4 podcast series with your host Charles Luttrell and co-host Steve Kent.
Steve, welcome back to Friday at 4. How are you?
Hi, thanks, Chuck. It's great to be here. Great
Yeah,
to be.
man. Yeah, welcome back. As you notice, we have a guest. Keena, welcome to the Friday at 4.
Hello, Steve,
Welcome,
Charles. Thank
welcome.
you.
Thanks for
Love your
joining us.
glasses, by the way. I just noticed that the two-tone.
Thank
Really, I'm
you.
sorry. I'm going off track. Sorry. Okay.
All glass wearers, glasses wearers.
Okay.
Steve, you're off topic, buddy. Let's
I'm
stay
sorry.
on topic
Reel
here.
me back in. Reel me back in. Okay.
Yeah, reel you back in. So I know it's been a pretty hectic week for you and pretty busy week for me. I've got some cool things we'll discuss after the show. Keena, since you're new to the show, we're not sure how your week's been, but how's your week been real fast?
Pretty good, actually. Not bad at all.
That's awesome. Yeah, so on the East Coast here in U.S., and I'm right in Maryland in the middle. Steve, I know you're in New York, and we're looking at a impending snowstorm coming our way,
Oh,
so we're keeping an eye on that.
Yes,
I
I'm actually in Arizona, and
I'm
whereabouts?
jealous.
I'm sitting outside.
Where
So
in
I'm
I
Arizona?
am
gonna
jealous.
I'll send you warm waves.
Wait, where in
Yes.
Arizona are you?
I'm in Phoenix.
I was in Arizona this past weekend in Surprise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, bring us that warm brother this way because we need it because we're looking at
Yes.
18 to 22 inches, and we don't want that.
Oof.
No, no, no,
Yes.
no, no.
Yes.
Right.
No.
All right, so to get this episode started, Steve and I had talked about the topic for this week would be multiple streams of income, and the idea was basically, if you have a business and you have multiple streams of income, should they make sense to somewhat make sense to your business and what you're working on and not stray? For example, I saw a post where a restaurant they're a restaurant. They own a restaurant, and they're offering snow removal services. I thought that was interesting. I'm like, I'd like to talk to Steve about that and bring up this topic
Hmm.
on there Friday at 4 because I thought that was interesting. Steve, what do you think?
Okay, so I'm in 100% agreement that multiple streams of income any given time are a good thing. Certainly in the times we live in today, where things are so uncertain. But when it comes to multiple streams of income, I'm in agreement that it should be related. So a restaurant is good by itself, a snowplow business is good by itself, but two challenges with that scenario. Number one is they're completely unrelated, and I'll tell you why in a second. But the other thing with a snowplow business, a pure snowplow business, is it's very seasonal. So if it doesn't snow, you have no revenue, but you have all the expenses that go with it.
Yeah,
Now, if you
absolutely.
combine a snowplow business, because you have the equipment, with a landscaping business, now you're okay because you're using the equipment and the people for multiple things. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, and here's a cool segue for
Yes.
Keena because this is way out of her realm because she don't need snow plowing and she ain't seeing no
No.
snow. So Keena,
Not in Arizona, no.
Yeah.
right. So, Keena,
Not
tell our
this part.
audience more about who you are and what you do, your business, and your thoughts on this multiple streams of income. You don't have to talk about snowplow because you probably don't know much about snowplows, right?
Okay,
Well,
what's a
I
snowplow?
grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, so I definitely know
Oh, there
snowplows.
you
And
go.
actually, it's funny you said that. My father owned a full service gas station when I was
Ah,
growing up. So that's I was the first accountant when I was probably about 10. And in the when
hmm,
it was snowing, because he had a tow truck, he had a plow he put on in
hmm,
the front, and he snow plowed different businesses as additional income during that
That's
time.
very cool.
So I
That's
remember
very
smart.
actually putting on my snowsuit and riding with him at night while he was clearing it for the business the next morning. So it's
right.
funny you said that. You brought back that memory
That's
when you
awesome.
mentioned the whole
Yeah,
two streams of income. So he definitely was a living example of that for
good,
me
good,
growing up.
good.
But my
Right.
business is Your Balance Partners, and we are a full service, what I call soup to nuts firm that provides CFO services down to accounting services for small to medium sized businesses. So we do work with
Okay.
businesses and business owners that have sometimes they have multiple companies, so multiple
Mhm.
streams of income. Or they're trying to figure out if they're a services company, how they can leverage their assets the best. So in the example Steve gave, that's an example kind of just leveraging your assets and making sure
Mhm.
that those assets are churning for you 12 months out the year. So
Gotcha.
that I think having those multiple streams where if it's an asset rich business that you are figuring out how you are making those make money for you as much as possible.
Gotcha. So before I give it back to Chuck, I'm going to make an unsolicited statement right here. When we're done, I need your information from Chuck. We need to talk because I think we can work together. Sorry, Chuck, back
Okay.
to you. And this is an advantage of
Yes.
being on the show and having guests and whatever else. So, okay,
And
Yes.
sorry.
See Kina, when we had the conversation through email, why I said, you'll love it, you'll have fun. Don't worry, it's not just an intro call. That's why I do what I do, because it just flows. It works good. And when we
Yeah.
bring guests on, it seems like we always find people who we can work well with. You know, we seem
Right.
to
Mhm.
gel, right, Steve?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's amazing how when people come on, the show just flows. It
It
Mm-hmm.
really
does.
does,
It does.
and that's what I love
So,
about it.
yeah.
And again, look how I had no idea, didn't know much about you,
Right.
from just the front of it. Then you came on and you knew about snowplows, and we had no idea that you would know about snowplows,
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, see, the,
Exactly.
the great part about this whole TikTok episode series that we're doing, number one, we're adding value.
Hmm.
It's unscripted. It's how we really feel based on our experiences, and we have fun. So it's really a win any way you look at it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's good
I think
stuff.
yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
actually, as part of an extension for your balanced partners, we also have a podcast that we started at
Oh,
the around April last year called Balance Your Books podcast, which is on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. But we
nice.
did it kind of with the same thinking, but just centered more around the accounting, because
Mhm.
the minute you say accounting to business owners, some of them start to just shrink. So we're trying to figure out how do we say it in a fun way.
Got it.
And you see,
Got it.
Kina, that's exactly what I run into when I talk about what I do with my show, especially with the undercover part of reviewing your business. People run because
Right.
they're
Mhm.
afraid of the truth.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
So the
It's
struggle is real for all of us, right, Steve?
what is that movie? I don't know if it's A Few Good Men where the line is, and you can't
Oh no,
handle the
that's
truth.
a few good men.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
I'm
it.
impressed.
You
I got
can't
that right.
handle the
Okay.
truth.
You can't handle the truth. Yeah.
You can't handle
You
the
are
truth. Right.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, getting back on topic with this, with the multiple streams of income, I think, what a great topic for today, because I think it adds value that, yes, as Steve said, right, it's good to have multiple streams of
Mhm.
income.
It is.
You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket per se, because, sometimes having different ways of making money, it's valuable, because if
Yeah.
one's not doing well, the other can make up the slack. And Steve, we'll talk
Right.
about that later, of what I found and what's working. As you can tell, I'm a little happier today. The week spent good,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll talk
Good.
about it,
Yep.
but I
Yep.
think it adds merit to, until you can get that one thing that you love, my passion for my show, right?
Right.
To get that
Yep.
pushing, we got to find those multiple
Mhm.
streams to help us push
Yep.
through, right?
Yeah. So to me, forget industry specific,
Yeah.
generic statement. There, in my mind, there are two reasons why you want multiple streams in a certain way. Number one is depending on what, again, doesn't matter what business, but if the different streams are related to each other, sales from one, or should I say, yeah, sales from one can feed another and feed another. So you can feed each other's businesses within your world. The other reason is the more services you can add, or not add, but provide to a customer, the more quote unquote sticky they're going to be to you and not go somewhere else.
Mhm.
So if all you offer is accounting, they can go somewhere else for taxes, they can go somewhere else for CFO, somewhere else for other
Correct.
things. But
Correct.
in your case, you're offering multiple things. And because you're doing that, it's easier, makes more sense. One person to contact, it's just
Hmm.
makes more sense for you. and for them being the customer. So that's kind of my logic of related. They each business feeds each other and easier for the customer and the owner of the multiple businesses.
Right.
And
And
that's
Keen, not to
exactly
put you
what
on
we
the
do.
spot, right? But
Yeah.
I know you're in that realm like Steve, right? Where you do have multiple streams of income with
Mhm.
your specific business, right? So go ahead and tell us a little about that.
Yes. So that's exactly what we do is what we have found is for particularly our customer. So you want to make sure you're thinking about what does your customer need. For us, it is a small business. And when you are an entrepreneur, you don't have a lot of time.
Correct.
So what we are trying to provide is you come to us, you become a client of us, and we have also our partners. So sometimes it is, it may be that we get some portion of what we are able to refer. So, we have our sister firm that does all the tax preparation. We have another connection that could provide HR services. We have another connection that could provide IT services. And so we're building an ecosystem that can support with wraparound services for different small businesses. And so if you have the capacity to do that with your multiple
Mm,
streams, when you think about who your customer is,
right.
then maybe you can figure out if your business is seasonal or if you're trying to figure out how you can add value. Because I think that's
Mhm.
what it's really about is
Right.
who is your customer and how do you add value to them? And then
Right.
that can become profitable for you.
Right. But again, to what I said before and to what you're doing,
Hmm.
customer A, who happens to be Chuck, you are offering multiple things.
Yes.
Chuck doesn't care that you outsource, and I made the wrong word, but you
Yeah.
have your partners of three, four, five different things. Chuck knows he calls Keena, Keena gets the job done.
Right.
So
Right.
you have multiple people that you're feeding that now are loyal to you.
Right.
Your customer's loyal to you because it's one person to contact.
Hmm.
And when, like you said, the client is busy, they're not going to
Yes.
want to call, chase down, run after, whatever you want to call it, three, four, five people. They want to
Right.
call you, you get it done. So you've built a great system. So congratulations on that. It's a perfect, from
Thank
my
you.
perspective, that's a great model. So great job.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's, by thinking about your customer's needs, it's kind of how you figure
Mhm.
out and you listen, right? I mean,
Right.
what they always say, you have two ears, one mouth. So, so when you listen to what they need, it helped us figure out how we are forming our company. We just did it. I left corporate America 4 years ago to go out on my own. No,
Amen. Amen.
it
Yep.
took a lot of
Steve
years.
and I
I
talk
am
about that a lot.
Yeah, we
Yes.
do. We do.
so yeah, so that alone, I mean, I am an accountant, so I'm naturally risk adverse. So,
Me too.
so I had
I'm an
to,
accountant.
I had to put all of my eggs in a little basket and be like, okay, I think
Hmm.
I could eat tomorrow. Now I can
Yep.
go out
Yeah.
on my own.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, but in doing that, it was taking the time to listen
Hmm.
to different people and see what other people were doing. And also you look at who your competitors are and
Right.
see, well, what do they do
Right.
or how are they providing things differently? And so maybe
Hmm.
when people are thinking about those different streams of income that they have, who are you really trying to serve?
Right.
And I think the other piece of it is you as an entrepreneur, or if you're a person who has a W-2 job and then your extra stream of income is something separate, you also want to make sure you protect your peace as well, because you only have so much time to give.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. Time is too valuable, something you can't get back. And we want to
Right.
make sure we spend it as valuable as we can. And I
Hmm.
think, like you guys are alluding to here, you both have, well, we all three have per se multiple streams of income. But I think it really hits home that since your time is valuable, if we can help people with multiple parts of what they're trying to accomplish, and we can bring that in, even if we do outsource it or whatever word we want to use to call that, as partnerships or whatever, I think it really helps, small businesses. It helps all small businesses on both sides, helps us and their potential clients because
Correct.
we're able to give them all the help that they need all under one umbrella. That umbrella
Right.
can
Yep.
really enclose multiple things. Well, you're getting back to the bad example we talked about as we started this episode. I don't think I want to go to a restaurant and the restaurant owner sell me his snow shovel services where he can plow my sidewalk or my driveway. I just thought that was really odd. And I want to throw it out there because this episode's going in the right direction I thought it would, as talking about MSIs because we know what we're doing. I just don't think that was a good example of an MSI. What do you guys think?
From my
Yeah.
perspective, again, two completely separate businesses.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to what I said earlier. If the snow removal business is purely snow removal and seasonal, what happens when it doesn't snow to the people, to the equipment? If you combine that with landscaping, yes, now you're using potentially the same people, the same equipment. So now you can spread the cost out and generate revenue from two sources. But if it's completely separate, and regardless of whether it's seasonal or not, separating that kind of business from a restaurant, to me, needs to be done.
Oh,
It
absolutely. And
diverts
that's where my
attention from the restaurant full time to a seasonal. And I'm saying it's not a bad business, but
No,
just
no.
to me, the model doesn't work.
now, if you could use the snow to use in your restaurant to say, we have fresh snow packed drinks and
Snow
food made with
cones.
fresh packed snow with
Snow
snow cones,
cones. I love snow cones.
it could be a viable business, right? However, I
Yeah.
don't think we can do that. It's been proven we can't really eat snow.
Yeah.
But we've done it when we were kids.
I think we all did it when we were kids.
Right. Right. So yeah, I just want to put that out there because, I think, as I said early, and we were talking about prior to this episode, I wanted to make it make sense because as I saw that post, it really threw me to think that you would try to put those two together. Now, my first reaction was here's a business owner that's trying to find a way to make money rather than make it make sense to make money, right? With us, we have things that make sense to what we're doing in all of our streams of income, right? And I think that's the angle I was talking about with it was make it make sense.
Yeah. I think some people have different passions. And so they want to serve those different passions, which maybe you can. And that's why I was saying protect your peace in terms of understanding the capacity you have, because those two things, like to use your example, restaurant and snow plowing, maybe you have a passion for both, but now you're going to be at a capacity issue. And what does that mean? Which one is going to be sacrificed
Correct.
in terms of if you're really looking for your business to grow? So it's, you may, maybe you have a big holiday season with your restaurant. It's at the exact same time there's a blizzard. Like
Mhm.
something's gonna give, and some
Yeah.
part one of your businesses is going to suffer because they need to be accounted for separately. They need to be
Mhm.
managed separately. They have different personnel skills. So those are totally different, and they're going to take your energy to both. And that's the thing that you're going to realize, I think, for any owner or multiple owners in that case, because there's two, their head is being split into two.
Mhm.
And what does that do? How does that impact your ability to grow when you're not laser focused?
Correct.
And
Correct.
that's what we talked about too, Steve. Remember, we talked about having MSIs
Mhm.
also creates a problem of time to multiple streams, which they're going to suffer somewhere because your focus isn't on 100%, correct?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
But if you have a case like Kina has, where their services are related, the tracking mechanism of taking, so I'm going to use you as the example again, Chuck, taking Chuck from business one to business two to business three is easier because they're related, so you can track it
Mhm.
going across. To Keena's point, if you have two completely separate businesses, how do you track it? How do you keep your attention focused? And Keena's point's great. You really can't. It really, and something has to suffer. And as a business owner, you don't want that to be. You want it to be smooth, controllable, predictable. Can't do that. Snow doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, quick question to both of you. If I am, let's say I am your average Chuck with a 9 to 5 job, and I want to find something else to help make money with a multiple streams of income. I want to do something, and I don't want to use no ride sharing, no food delivery, stuff like that. What would one do to think about what direction for our multiple stream of income, right? I just want to put it out there as you don't have to answer it per se, but I want our minds to think about what would one person think about when you say, because our economy's tough right now, right? We're all struggling. It's a tough
Mhm.
economy.
Right.
We admit it. I mean, Steve, we talk about it
Yep.
every week. You know, it's tough. And Akina's like, oh yeah, I'm feeling it, you know.
Oh yeah.
But what could one do to sit back and say, this episode is great, multiple streams of income. What direction could I head with that, right? So I want to give people just a little idea of what could they do, right? What do you think?
Well, I think that the first question that I would ask someone is what are those things that are relatable to whatever your business is? Um, you know, we've had some clients say let's use the restaurant because we have a bakery and the bakery, they mainly sell cakes and chunks of cake. Well, as a separate stream of income, the baker could have baking classes. They could sell classes, right? So if you
Mhm.
think about your skill set overall and what you're the subject matter expert in, and then how can you translate that into something else that could potentially get you a stream of income that's separate, as opposed to going totally out like, I'm a baker and I've always wanted to be a dancer, and I'm going to go out and dance.
Ah,
Maybe,
You can dance
maybe,
around the kitchen. Okay.
yeah,
baking
you know,
dancer. No, that's
yeah.
awesome. Tina, you nailed it.
So, because
I'm
it was
working
your
that this
dream.
weekend.
Yeah. So that might not work so well.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Yeah.
don't want to hate anybody's talent. It's just,
You could
it might
even
be a little
set
difficult.
up a scenario where if you're baking during the day, maybe you could set up, if you made a little bit extra, have a delivery service for people that can't come to your bakery.
Hmm.
Not a full-blown Uber DoorDash type stuff or Uber Eats, but just something specifically for the bakery within a certain geographic so it's economical for you for gas and all that stuff.
Right.
But set up so if you made a little bit extra, now you can put out on your website, we have 3 dozen donuts, 5 loaves of bread, and something else. Um, reduced price or whatever, until it runs out.
Hmm.
First come, first serve. We'll deliver it to you within 30 minutes in a certain geography. So you build customer loyalty. You're getting rid of stuff that you might otherwise have to throw out.
Hmm.
So to your point, it's something that's related. It's something you like to do because it's important that you like what you do. You can't show up to deliver something with a sour puss on your face because they're gonna like get away from you, never come back here. Um,
Exactly.
so yeah, but I love that idea.
Hmm.
It has a lot of value when you put three brains together in a podcast like this and we share these ideas. You know, we pick a simple topic of multiple streams of income. Yes, we made fun of a couple ideas and we had fun with it, but we were still able to, tell people our thoughts about what we feel about our multiple streams of income, what you
Mhm.
guys do, and then how they can work on things themselves. And
Right.
I think that's has a lot to say about, you don't have to work a 9 to 5 and say you're stuck because
Correct.
the economy sucks, the world sucks, I'm never going to get anywhere, and we're doomed. We can get away from that to say we have choices and options. We can do things,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
So let me just go a little bit off the edge, just a little.
2 minutes.
You're in a 9 to 5. Speak quickly. Okay, you're in a 9 to 5, and you may not like what you're doing. So use the couple of hours afterwards to explore something you do like.
Yes.
Try it part-time. If you like it, then maybe add a Saturday, add a Sunday. Yes, you're working more, but if you find something you really like and you really start to make money at it, the possibility is to do that full time and get rid of your nightmare 9 to 5.
Hmm.
So use it not just as a multiple stream, but as a launching pad for something else that you really want to do.
Yeah, and going back to what Keena said, right? You work a 9 to 5, you come home, you got your home bakery, you're doing your home baked goods,
Hmm.
and then you got that going, and then you can set up, like you said, you can set up the delivery part, or people can come
Hmm.
pick it up, and there's three right there, right? You're working your 9 to 5, you're baking, and now you can sell them out of your house, or you can have them delivered, have them pick up, and you got
Yeah.
MSIs right there.
Yep.
And it's pretty easy to, like I'm being the CPA, I am a CPA. It's pretty easy to set up the cottage bakery license. It's pretty,
Mm.
so there's things you can do fairly easily. Don't let the barrier to entry of your multiple stream of income be to make sure that you're set up appropriately. So
Mm.
it usually doesn't cost that much. Just do a little research so that you are also protecting it, whatever it is that
Mm.
other stream of income you're doing.
Right. Right.
And that's a good point to bring up, right, Steve? The protection, right? So, Steve's got a lot of, and part of what he does is all protection. I mean, he wants to protect you from certain things. And
Yeah.
I love that thought that you're putting out there to say, hey, make sure you protect yourself, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. You have to protect your business, your stream of income. What happens if something happens to you? You have to have plan B. Who's going to take it over? Otherwise, it goes to the wayside of everything you've worked so hard to build up. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that can be done and should be done.
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. And especially as a CPA, right? I mean, that's a very valuable business to be in
Mm.
because it
Mhm.
uncovers so much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that could be a whole separate podcast, the stories.
We would love to have you come back. You can join us on any Friday at
That would
4
be
every week if
that
you
would be
want.
some crazy stories
I'm sure there are.
over the years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what I like about this is when I bring guests on, and Steve, you can join in, comment on this as well. When we bring guests on the show, we always find it always seems to work out to where the flow is just like we always seem to work together. So when we pick a topic, it fits for all of our conversation, right? So it's like all three of our businesses fit together because I have something for you for your bakery, so we can talk about that, with my show and what I'm doing. So, and then Steve, he can't wait to talk to you after the show because he's got things he wants to work out with you. So it just goes a long way, to say that I love what we do on this show because every time we have guests, every time we talk, we always come up with something that really connects and helps people. And I get comments all the time that great show. I felt that one. People really feel
That's
what we
great.
talk about. And I know, and I was kind of worried about this one because I wasn't sure if we were going to connect with the audience on multiple streams of income, but we worked it out. We made it to where both sides, businesses who listen and people who listen, can get something from this episode, and really connect with us on what we're trying to do and how we're trying to help people with what we do with this podcast. Right, Steve?
Absolutely. Again, as I said early on, the whole idea, yes, we have fun stuff and it's our experiences, but the point of why we do this is to add value from real life scenarios. Chuck's got his thing, I have my thing, you bring your thing in, and it's a whole new angle that Chuck and I don't have. So thank you, for your comments and your feedback. I mean, I think it definitely added value to this. So thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And let me real quick here for Steve, 516-727-2294. Reach out to Steve if you need some assistance.
And for Chuck, it's 410-935-6132. And Keena, just
Tina?
Oh,
Yeah,
tell us
it's
tell
how.
us how to reach you.
yourbalancepartners.com. Yeah, sure. Yourbalancepartners.com. And we have a contact form on there. And we'd be more than happy to help anyone out or, as we mentioned, connect you to the right people like these gentlemen here.
Where are you located, Keena?
So I'm normally in Atlanta, Georgia,
Okay.
but I am on what I call my winter respite at my friend's house in Phoenix.
Love
So
it.
I
I
do it every
think it's
January.
I think it's only fair that you invite Chuck and I over, just throwing that out there, Okay.
I'm
Live
sure they
from
won't mind.
Arizona, the Friday at 4, live from Arizona. That is what we're
Exactly.
trying to do.
That's
And
it.
it's
Road
got to
trip.
be in January or February, not July.
Yes, agreed. Agreed. With the heat, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Keena, Steve, what a great episode. I'm glad we got Keena to come on and join us.
Yep.
I know she was kind of hesitant at first. She was like, wait a minute, is this a Discovery podcast interview? Hold on, what are we doing here? I kind of caught her off guard with it. And I told her, you'll be fine. You'll have fun. Just hang in
It
there.
turned
And
out fine. Thank you so
yeah, see, I
much.
told you it would, right?
It
See, I said,
did. You
you'll
were
have
absolutely
fun.
correct.
Yeah. So thank you, Steve. Thanks again for another wonderful podcast episode. Keena,
No,
thanks
my
for coming
pleasure.
on,
Yep.
you know,
Thank you.
and joining the conversation. And we always have a cool thing that we end the show with. And if you haven't seen the episode yet, Steve, go ahead and have at it. It's
Because
Friday
it's
at 4
4:00 somewhere.
4 o'clock somewhere. So to your point, Keena, you're in Arizona, different time zone, but it's
Yeah,
4 o'clock
it'll
somewhere.
be, yeah, it's 4 o'clock somewhere.
Somewhere.
Right. Guys, thanks again. It's been a great episode. I really loved
Yep.
it. A lot of fun. Keena, you're welcome to come on at any time you want on any Friday. You got the link now. You don't have to ask me. You can just pop in and show up as you can. You can show up anywhere, anytime. As long as we're on the show at 4 o'clock, you can join us.
Thank you. Thanks,
You're
guys.
very welcome.
Thanks.
You're
Have
very
a great
welcome.
weekend.
Yeah, everybody have a great weekend. For us, it's going to be doomsday for snow. Hopefully not, but we're going to have to shovel each other out, Steve.
Yeah.
There's a
yeah.
restaurant that could do it for you.
There you
That's
go. I like
right.
it. I like it.
You nailed it. What an ending to the show. Keena,
That's
thank
it.
you so much. You nailed it. Oh, man, you
All
guys
right.
are great.
Thanks,
so
everyone.
much. And hey, have a great Friday night, Friday evening, and weekend, and we'll talk soon.
You got it. Thanks.
Take
Take care.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been watching the Friday at 4 podcast series with your host Charles Luttrell and co-host Steve Kent. Thanks for watching.